Welcome back once more. We're still on Agriculture Form 1, and now we are on topic number 3, and this is agricultural technology. Under this topic, we're going to discuss a number of things, and the first thing is for us to define the term agricultural technology. Then later on, we're going to explain the importance of agricultural technology. Then there is a link between agricultural research and agricultural technology. Remember, the topic already discussed, that's topic number 2, that's agricultural research. So there is a reason why these two topics, they are together. So we're going to see the link between agricultural research and agricultural technology. Apart from that, we're also going to identify types of farm structures. We're also going to identify types of farm structures. Then it is important also to describe those types of farm structures. Without wasting time, let us look on the meaning of agricultural technology. We can define agricultural technology in 2 ways. First, we can define agricultural technology as techniques that are applied to crop and or livestock production to enhance growth and productivity. That's how we can first define agricultural technology. So we can define agricultural technology as techniques that are applied to crops and or livestock production to enhance growth and productivity. We can also define agricultural technology as tools, equipment, machinery, and farm structures used in agricultural production. So, apart from defining agricultural technology as techniques, we can also define agricultural technology as simply tools, equipments, machineries, farm structures that aid or are used in agricultural production. Let us now look on the examples of agricultural technology. So, on the examples of agricultural technology, we're going to split them into 2. We're going to list examples of agricultural technology as techniques, as per definition, the first definition as techniques. So we're also going to list examples of agricultural technology as tools, in equipments and machinery. So now let us first start with the examples of agricultural technology under techniques. So under techniques, we have the following examples. Number 1, use of hybrid seeds, use of resistant varieties of crops, pruning, cropping systems. On cropping systems, we have crop rotation, we talk of organic farming, agroforestry, mixed cropping, mixed farming. So these are some of the cropping systems. Then another example is proper feeding, proper housing, machine milking, irrigation, and among others. Now let us look on the examples of agricultural technology as tools, equipments, machinery, and farm structures. So the examples are as follows. We have plows, mowers, harrows, combine harvesters, pumps, tractors, incubators, brooders, sprayers. Of course, for plow, we know for sure that these are there for tilling. And then we have mowers that are there for trimming grass. Combine harvesters, obviously it means we're talking of the machines which are used to harvest various crops. We have tractors. It means these, of course, sometimes we connect to plows, we connect to trailers, so we use them to pull those equipments. We have incubator where we use to hatch eggs. We have brooders where we keep those animals which are underweight. Then we have sprayers where we use to spray the chemicals. So these are simple examples of agriculture technology and tools, equipments. Now let us look on the importances of the mentioned agricultural technology. So agricultural technology is very, very important in the sense that increase quantity of produce through the use of manure and inorganic fertilizer. It's through agricultural technology where the formulation of manure as well as inorganic fertilizer uh, 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 take place. So the use of those manure as well as organic fertilizer, they will boost quantity of produce. The next importance of agricultural technology is to increase quality of produce through the cultivation of indigenous crops and keeping indigenous breeds of animals which are more resistant to diseases. So agricultural technology will also help to improve quality of produce, since there is also the use of indigenous crops as well as indigenous breeds which resist diseases. So the produce out of those indigenous trees, they are of high quality. Apart from that, agricultural technology also reduce cost of production by encouraging improvisation of tools rather than buying. Sometimes these tools, they can be locally made, or some of the products which we use can be locally made, and if we know, we are aware of the agriculture technology techniques, so therefore this will reduce the cost of production. Instead of purchasing expensive ones, we can locally make them, therefore reducing the cost of production. Another importance is that reduce produce spoilage before consumption by providing proper storage facilities. Under agricultural technology, we have also mentioned of the use of farm structures. Those farm structures, they will help to keep safe the produce. Therefore, that will reduce spoilage of produce before consumption. And also on the same agricultural technology, there is the formulation of agricultural chemicals, for example, pesticides, which will keep safe those produce from being spoiled. Another importance is that agricultural technology will improve adaptability of crops as well as breeds to local ecological setup. Through agricultural technology, there is a formation of the seeds which can adapt any local ecological condition. There is also breeding of the animals so that they can adapt any local ecological condition. So therefore it is another importance of agricultural technology, improvement in adaptability to local ecological setup. Another one is that enhances food security by ensuring that the food produced by farmers is enough for the nation. We have mentioned the use of tools, equipments, machineries, and many others. Those equipments as well as machinery will make the work to be very fast. Therefore, we can cultivate a huge farm within a short period of time, or even plant a huge farm within a short period of time. So because of that, that will enhance food security in the sense that we can harvest more because of the use of the modern machineries. Apart from that, it also improves environmental conservation by encouraging farming practices such as plowing across the slope, soil erosion control, afforestation, among others. The last one improves transport and communication by maintaining proper road network. So these are some of the importances of agricultural technology. Next, it's the link now. We should look on the link between agricultural research and agricultural technology. There is a link between agricultural research and agricultural technology. So, the knowledge from research in the agricultural technology forms the basis of improved agricultural productivity. For example, in both agricultural research and agricultural technology, they aim at improving crop yield ability, and also they also aim at to improve resistance to both crop and livestock diseases, pests, as well as parasites. They also both aim at improving adaptability to various ecological conditions, and also they aim at improving keeping quality fruits. In fact, in order for us to conduct agricultural research, we rely on agricultural technology. And also, in order for the agricultural technologies or the techniques as well as the tools to be there, there is need for you to conduct the research. So there is really that link between agricultural research and agricultural technology. It's like they are relying on each other. We can't conduct research without agricultural technology. We can't have agricultural technology without conducting research. So there is that connection between agricultural research and agricultural technology. Now, when we were defining agricultural technology, there was the other part mentioned as agricultural technology as farm structures. So farm structures, they are also under agricultural technology. So we want to dig deep on the farm structures themselves and agricultural technology. So we are going to look on the types of farm structures. The farm structures, they are mainly classified into five. There are five main types of farm structures, and we can define farm structures as different types of physical constructions that are put up in farm for the purpose of livestock and crop production. So we're talking about the physical constructions that are set up for the purpose of livestock and crop production. So, as I've already mentioned, they are categorized into five. So, the five categories or the five types of farm structures are as follows. Number one, crop storage. Then we have crop processing, animal housing, farm equipment and tools, then roads and bridges. Roads and bridges. These are the types of farm structures. Remember, farm structures will aid livestock and crop production. So these are the categories of farm structures which will aid livestock and crop production. Let us start with the first category, which is crop storage structures. Crop storage structures, these are structures used to preserve harvested crop produce for future use or during a time when the weather cannot allow production. So we have some of the structures where we preserve harvested crop produce. It's not always that once you have harvested, you can consume all the produce at once. So you harvest many in the sense that some of them can be kept, some of the produce can be kept for future use. So we keep in some structures. So those structures are the ones which we refer them to as crop storage structures. So saying these are structures used to preserve harvested crop produce for future use or during a time when the weather cannot allow production. So let us look more on the crop storage structures, more especially for the grain storage like maize. So structures for grain storage should have the following conditions. Number one, the grain storage must remain dry with no contact with dampness. So make sure that at least the grain storage should always be dry, so that those grains uh, uh, should not have contact with dampness. Apart from that, the storage temperature must remain constant to avoid the grain initiating sprouting. So if the storage temperature is changing, most of the times that may lead to those grains to germinate in the storage room. So make sure that the storage temperature should remain constant. Apart from that, the storage must be protected against insects and rodents. It's either you can apply the chemicals, but also there is this strategy they use in the grain storage, in the sense that the grain storage they say should be airtight, should not allow the grain storage uh, air circulation should not be there. The main reason, if at all there are some insects which you harvested together with the grains, those insects should suffocate due to lack of oxygen. So that's why the grain storage, it is important that should be airtight. There should be no windows to allow air to penetrate in the storage room. So if that is the case, it means the insects or the insects cannot attack the grains while in the storage room, just because they'll be lacking air, they'll suffocate and die. So we have good examples of the crop storage structures. We can group them into two, as traditional and modern storage facilities. Under traditional, we have underground pits where we keep the sweet potatoes and other. Then we have the clay pots, we have the glass basket, then we have the traditional granaries, some they say nkokwe. So it's where we can keep our maize and shelled maize. Then we have the modern storage facilities. We have grain tanks and trams. We also have grain silos. We have modern granaries. These, I think, for the modern granaries, like the government of Malawi, we have those modern granaries, Mzuzu, Lilongwe, Blanta, as well as Zomba, the modern granaries, where we keep our grains there. Apart from that, the sacks, we also have portable metallic silos. Those are examples of modern storage facilities. Having done on crop storage structures, let us now look on crop processing structures. Crop processing structures. Crop processing structures involves changing crops from one form to more variable or one that can last longer. So these structures, therefore, they will help in the changing of crop produce from one form to more variable or one that can last longer. So we have examples of those processing structures and their activities. We have drying, we have maize dryer. Maize dryer is there to dry maize. Then we have the pulping machine. These are machines which are used in pulling out e.g. coffee berries. Then we have maize miller. They are there for milling maize. Then we have tobacco bin. These are structures used in drying of tobacco leaves. It's where we hang the tobacco leaves so that air drying should be done. So we call them tobacco bin. Then we have silos. These are their silage making. We use it for making silage. Silage is one of the feed conservation measure which we do for animals. So we make this silage to conserve the feeds. So we use the silos. So silos is a structure for silage making. Then we have chaff cutter. We have chaff cutter. This one is the chopping straw. Is the chopping. We used to chop straw, hay, napier grass, as well as other into small pieces. Then we also have oil pressing machines. These machines, they are there to extract oil from oil seeds. Oil seeds such as groundnuts, soya bean. We also have sunflower seeds. So those seeds, those oil seeds, we extract oil from those seeds using oil pressing machine. Then we have foliage harvester. This one, it is used to harvest foliage plants. We're talking about the planting materials, the upper planting materials. So we use to harvest foliage plants. That's the foliage harvester. So these are the pictures showing some of these equipments which we have just mentioned. Another category is animal housing structures. Animal housing structures. So these are structures used for housing the livestock. As we know, we have different types of livestock which we keep. So different types of animals or different types of livestock, they occupy different types of houses. So we have different animal housing structures which we can use. Apart from that, for example, we have crashes. These, they will help in livestock production. Crashes, of course, we just use them to keep from animals moving so that we can easily vaccinate. Then we have dips where you find water with chemicals so that the animals they go in and they eliminate parasites, external parasites. Then we have spray. We can use the spray also to spray the chemicals on the animals so that we get rid of the external parasites. We have calf pens where the young animals under cattle, they are kept. Then we have dairy shed. uh, these the houses where we keep the animals for milk. Then we have poultry houses. We have the structures under poultry houses. We have deep litter, coops, forks, arcs, runs, battery cages. Here we keep the chicken depending on the purpose. Apart from that, we have rabbit hatches. Here we keep the rabbits which are pregnant so that they can give birth. Then we have piggery or pig sty. We are talking of the pig house. Fish pond where we keep fish. Zero grazing unit. We are talking of the place where we plant the pasture for animals. Then last we have the beehives where we keep the bees. So here the pictures displayed showing different animal housing structures. Then category number 4 is farm equipment and tools, or farm tools and equipments. There are many operational tasks that are performed in the farm during crop and livestock production. So some of these tasks are so complicated that they cannot be performed to one's satisfaction by use of mere hands. Hence, the farmer needs the farm tools and equipments to use them so that those complicated tasks can easily be done. So we're saying these farmers need various tools and equipments. Tools are quite simple and are held in hand as one performs a particular operation. On the other hand, equipments are more complicated and are specific. Whichever the case, both tools and equipments, they are essential when it comes to operating farming activities. So we have good examples of farm tools and equipments: machete, rake, garden fork. These, of course, are examples of tools. Knapsack sprayer, stir-up pump sprayer, chaff cutter. These are examples of equipment. So next time we're going to continue from this by looking on the categories of farm tools and equipments. Just because these farm tools and equipments, they are categorized into 5, so we need to discuss on those 5 types of farm tools and equipments. Now the review exercise, we need to define what agricultural technology is and give any 3 importance of agricultural technology. What are farm structures? It's another question we need to answer. Explain the following farm structures and give 2 examples of each farm structure. Crop storage, crop processing, animal housing. So, as we have already said, next we are going to look on the importance of using farm tools and equipments and also their categories. Bye for now.